What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back for a new thread for you guys, as I'm going to be starting up this song thread for you guys. So anybody who's watching this that has a YouTube channel and does metal videos, send me a response, because I would love to get this thread going, because I think this is an interesting topic that I wanted to kind of start a thread about, and that is 10 sad metal songs to bring you to tears. Now, for some people, they may not, but for others, it might. So this list can totally vary given on whoever decides to make a list, depending on what actually gets them going in the waterworks a little bit, if they're capable of crying. Because there have been quite a few songs that I've listened to in my life that has made me shed a tear or two, or cry profusely because of either the lyrical themes or even just the atmosphere of the song itself. It can shed a tear in my eye. So I have a list of 10 songs here that I want to kind of highlight as sad metal songs that may bring you to tears. So this is in no particular order, this is just 10 songs I've chosen and give you my explanation for it. So, the first one is going to be Swallow the Sun's Firelights. So this song was on their 2019 album, When a Shadow is Forced into the Light, which that whole album I could have put as like one whole entry on this list, because pretty much every song on that album would fit on a list like this, because especially given the backstory of the album with what happened to Yua's girlfriend, Aaliyah Stanbridge from Trees of Eternity, passing away from cancer back in 2018, and they were very, very close in love, and Yua lost Aaliyah to cancer, and it led him down to a very dark place, and it led him to kind of write this album in grief. But I chose Firelights because this song, I feel like when it comes down to the sad atmosphere, this one I think captures it the most, especially with the acoustic guitars and the very lush vocals in the chorus, and even whenever it gets into like that black metal scream in the bridge leading into the lead section, even that carries a little bit of that depressing atmosphere going on. And also, lyrically, when you read the lyrics, it might get you to shed a tear a little bit. So I chose Firelights from Swallow the Sun as a sad metal song to bring you to tears. Next up, Velvet Thorns by Catatonia. This was off of their amazing debut album, Dance of December Souls, which is very different from the majority of Catatonia's discography. And there's a lot of Catatonia songs that you can put on a list like this, but I went with Velvet Thorns because it's one of their longer tracks. It's like nearly 14 minutes of just epic, depressing death doom, and it pretty much stays in that doom pocket. But then even in the instrumentation, there's part of the song where it kind of gets into a bit of like an Iron Maiden gallop, which is really interesting to kind of break up the slow, sad, depressing doom stomp going on. But like, especially the middle of the song where you get these like epic, sad keyboards, and the fucking lyrics, again, just all about death and funerals and all that stuff. I mean, basically that's what Catatonia has mostly been about, is funerals and death and bereavement. And this song, I think, out of all the tracks on Dance of December Souls, this one, I think, captures the sad, depressing atmosphere. And that's why it made my list. At number 8, or not number 8, this is in no particular, what am I? Next up on my list is Ramstein, Mutter. So yeah, this song, for a while I couldn't listen to it, just because every time I would put it on, get a little watery-eyed. Basically, the lyrics of this song kind of reflect about a boy who was born from machines as opposed to organic birth. Like they just took sperm and a woman's egg in a lab to artificially make a child. And the song is all about the love-hate relationship a one can have with their mothers. And while granted, lyrics are the vocals are done in German, but when you read and translate them to English, they're very powerful, and the music behind it, it's got an epic quality, a very sad atmosphere behind it. And even watching the music video to it, it kind of captures what this song was really going for. And for me, this song was the standout of the Mutter album. So yeah, Mutter by Ramstein. Next up on my list, Metallica, Fade to Black. For obvious reasons, it's probably the saddest Metallica song that they have ever done. And On Ride to Lightning, and the song, you know, starting off with the beautiful acoustic guitars and the lead melody on top, all leading to more sad acoustic guitars. And then, like, even the lyrics is all about, like, feeling like you have nothing left to live for and that you just want to die and fade to black. And, like, even, like, the leads, like, the solo on the song, one of the best Metallica solos, and it really captures that somber vibe that the song really is trying to capture and put into your head. And I would say out of anything Metallica's done in terms of, like, depressing atmosphere, this one captures that vibe the very best, I should say. Next up on my list, I have Judas Priest, Here Come the Tears. Kind of self-explanatory, but really when you listen to it off of Sin After Sin and you get to that song, it starts off with this kind of like almost psychedelic prog feel, and like Rob Halford getting into more of his softer range. And then after that little atmospheric vibe goes away, then you get these somber acoustic guitars and piano parts with Halford's voice kind of starting to soar a little bit. And then even when the high vocals come in towards the middle, it just keeps on that sad vibe of like, just I've given all I've had, lay me to rest, safe from harm. I mean, those lyrics, basically all about like a plea to the heavens to like, say like, I've done all I can in my life, I just want to be set free and held in the arms of God kind of vibe. And the song itself, like instrumental-wise, it's powerful, the lyrics are powerful, and of course Halford's voice, getting to hear more of his like low, soulful range to the epic high shrill that the metal god is known for. And this is an early song too, this was 77, so they were able to write some sad tracks pretty early on in their career. And even Judas Priest has had quite a few other sad songs I could put on here, like Lost Love from Nostradamus could have been on here. Rising from Ruins could have been on here from Firepower. Yeah, Priest has got quite a few songs I could have put on here, but I went with Here Come the Tears because it's the saddest of them all, at least to me. That's half the list. Next up, I've got Iced Earth, A Question of Heaven, off of the Dark Saga 1996. Of course, this is the big concept album about the comic book anti-hero Spawn. And really, when you read into like the comics or know about the backstory of the Spawn character, it's fucking tragic. You know, a former military veteran agent who's doing what he can to serve his country and save his country gets betrayed by his mentor, burned to death, sent to hell, makes a plea with trying to remember who the villain was. It's supposed to be like a version of the devil, and it's been a little bit since I've seen anything with Spawn, but basically makes a plea with that version of the devil, and just to live back on Earth to see his wife Wanda again, and sees him only get tricked into being a servant of the devil. And basically the song's capturing all about how he wishes he can die so he can be set free from this curse, and he keeps getting denied, basically set to live on Earth cursed forever. And like Matt Barlow's vocals definitely help capture that story very well, and even like the lead work, the instrumentation, Wow. I also could have put I Died For You off of the Dark Saga on here too, because that was just as powerful and sad in my opinion. But I went with A Question of Heaven because I felt like it was a little bit more bombastic and epic and really captured the vibe more. So that's also on the list. Up next, Testament: The Legacy. Off of Souls of Black, this was the big ballad off of the album, but man, dude, the fucking solos on this song, like that, as well as Chuck Billy's vocal delivery, is the reason why I have this song on the list, because there were a few times when I've listened to the song, I couldn't help but shed a tear, because it's like, lyrics are all about like, what's my purpose in life now, even after fortune and fame, I'm just not happy. And like I said, Alex Skolnick's lead work, he makes that guitar fucking shed tears. And I've always been in love with this song. This is one of my personal favorite Testament songs. And out of any of the ballad tracks that Testament has done, this one was my personal favorite. And that's why it list. Now, the next three are definitely super somber tracks. Next up, Woods of Eprays, Kiss My Ashes Goodbye. Nearly 11-minute gothic doom opus. And what makes this song even more sad after the fact was David Gold, the leader of the band and the vocalist, passed away a year before this album and song came out. And it really makes this song feel even more meaningful. And it's basically all about, like, just put me into the ground, just kiss my ashes goodbye, and all about death and bereavement and funerals and stuff. Kind of like Catatonia a little bit, but a little more on the gothic side of things. Speaking of being on the more gothic side of things, the penultimate song on my list, Typo Negative. Now, which Typo Negative song did I go for? Because they've got quite a few you could put on here, and you wouldn't be wrong. However, I chose Everyone I Love Is Dead off of World Coming Down. I mean, again, that whole album has songs that you could have put on here, like even the title track or Everything Dies. But I went with Everyone I Love Is Dead, especially for the funeral organ parts from Josh Silver. It just really makes the song feel even more fucking depressing. And when Peter delivers the chorus where he's like, everyone I love is dead, and then you get like the sounds of someone crying afterwards while the organ's going on, just makes it feel even more sad, and just, wow. And then again, the meaning behind it, of course, given the backstory of Peter Steele's life at this point, with people in his family getting sick and other people in his family passing away and dying. They're in a very bad period in Peter Steele's life, and that's why I think the song really captures the sad, depressing vibe, especially with the lyrics and even the songwriting itself. Ugh, man. And then number one, I almost went with a tie, and it's Opeth. And it was between Burden and Porcelain Heart, which were back-to-back tearjerkers on Watershed. But I went with the one that I felt was a little more depressing, at least, and also a song that's meaningful to me, and that's Burden, because I can personally relate to this song, because it's all about, like, life struggles with burdens in your life, and how you feel like no matter how hard you try, they just keep getting worse. And this, honestly, was like the song that kind of signaled the Opeth change into being a more prog rock band. Because this was more of a prog rock with a little tinge of metal in the lead work. But fucking Michael Ockerfeld's crooning vocals on here definitely can bring you to tears, especially on a song like this. Hell, this album, 3 songs, Coil, this, and Porcelain Heart, you could put on the list and you would not be wrong, because all 3 of those songs carry a sad, depressing vibe to it. But ladies and gentlemen, that is my list of 10 sad metal songs to bring you to tears. There are a lot of others I could have brought up on here, like the song Bloody Kisses by Typo Negative, and so many other Catatonia or even Swallow the Sun tracks. Yeah, there's quite a few metal songs out there that have a sad, depressing vibe, or even in the lyrics can make you shed a tear. But these were the 10s that I felt were the closest to me, that after that sad depression very, very well. But anyways, like I said, if you are watching this and you make metal videos on YouTube, I'd love to hear a list from you guys. Or if you don't make videos, send your lists in the comments section below. Or what do you think is the saddest metal song of all time? But until next time, horns high, I will see you soon. Better go in hell. What? Oh my god! That was a fail! Oh my god! Fuck that! Oh my god, I am such an idiot! That was the dumbest thing I've ever done in this fucking game! Why? What was that? Was I colorblind for a second? What was that?